Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Loan Officer Breakfast Club, Monday, October 27, 2025. It is going to be a fabulous, fabulous day and a great show. We're going to get it started. Steve? Where was he? Now. Timing is everything. Oh, he's not even there. He said the space is empty. All right, well, we're going to get started right now. We're having a great time. Glad to have you all here. Let's rock and roll, my friends, and get this day underway. We're going to learn something today. I think we're going to learn something really good today. You know, that's what I think. All right, let's see who we got in the house, man. Who we got? You know, Clark Crosby.
Nice.
What's going on, Clark Crosby? How are you, man? Do you hear us, Clark Crosby? You do. What's happening?
Frank, how you doing, boss?
Man, just making it happen, dude. Just got a little bit of time left in the year. Hey, got my daughter coming in from LA late this week, so that's going to be kind of fun, you know.
That's what's up, man. I've been wondering, is that the dude from Thin Lizzy behind you?
Is what's behind me?
Yeah.
What's behind me? Oh no, that's Angus Young, dude.
No, the other one.
Oh, that's Pete Townsend.
Okay. I thought it was the lead singer of Thin Lizzy for the longest.
Oh yeah, I could see that actually. Yeah, because it's dark back there. If he had a big fro, it would look it would look like him. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Where are you located, dude?
Roswell, Georgia.
Roswell, Georgia.
Yeah.
Roswell. Yeah. Things going okay for you?
You know, it is what it is. I came over to a new company about 120 days ago.
Yeah.
That's associated with mortgage marketing animals. So
good.
Just kind of getting the swing of things. I did the boot camp about 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Did some stuff. So
yeah. Hey, so they're associated with animals. So animals is part of their repertoire, if you will.
Yeah, I've been following Carl around for a while. I used to own tattoo shops in South Florida and get hit by his marketing back in the day when it was like a parrot. So
Got it. Yeah. Are you the guy that put that big giant mural on his back? You guys wear that? Carl has
I don't. I didn't tattoo myself. I'm just kind of always been kind of an entrepreneurial guy.
Yeah. Carl's got a huge
idea for a business, and turns out tattoo shops are exactly what you would think they are.
I bet they are. Yeah. I know people don't realize Carl has a huge tattoo mural on his back of me and Steve.
That's right. Cool. Yeah.
So right on, Clark. Well, glad to have you here, man. And are you jumping on Call Stars yet? All right. Well, we gotta do something here. Hold on. What's going on here? All right.
Who's this?
Who's this?
And look at everybody. Everybody's looking at you, dude. There's 200 people in here.
Hey.
Good morning. How are you? Look at that. Looking good.
Happy Halloween. All right, I love it.
Nice stuff. Well, hey, man. Clark, thanks for letting us chat with you this morning, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I got a million things going on. I don't know if that ever happens to you guys too.
No, never. That's really unusual. Yeah, really unusual. Yeah. Right on, man. All right. Oh, you know who we haven't talked to in a minute is Paulina.
Yeah.
Paulina, how are you, Paulina? What's going on?
Good morning. I'm good. Thank you. How's everybody?
Good morning. Good morning.
We're good. So what's happening in your world? What's going on? How's biz? What's new?
Business are good, steady. My goal for this year was at least six loans per month, and I reach only 5. So I'm working on.
It's pretty dang good, though. Excellent work. Congratulations. Yeah. Are you staying pretty steady, though? Pretty steady?
I'm steady, yes.
That's good. Good for you. Yeah. Excellent work. Congratulations. Great stuff. Here, I'm giving you a big
I miss Steve.
I miss Steve, too.
Yeah.
I will go to the next group.
Next boot camp. Well, hey, you keep doing it. Keep making the calls. Keep prospecting.
Is there one coming up, Steve? Do you have one of yours coming up anytime soon?
We don't, my friend.
Maybe next year.
First part of the year. Yeah.
All right, good. So everybody be prepared for that. All right, cool. Well, let's just get one win in before we get to the meat potatoes today. So we just got to get a win in. I think Rudy Bill Rudy Devers. Why not? He's there. He's, you can count on him for a win.
I got 3 contracts from Friday to yesterday.
Nice. Okay, so we're going to give you 3 of these. Excellent work. Great job. And
one of them was emailed to me like a week ago, and they never even called me. And me being technologically challenged and everything, I didn't even dig it out of my email at all. So only reason why I knew I got it was that the title company contacted me and said, "Hey, where's the title order?"
Oh my gosh, hilarious. Well, thank God it's up and running. Hey, this is a true story. It goes back a long time. For those of us that go way back, right? This goes back to the 80s, okay? I was a new loan officer in the late 80s, new loan officer, and somebody called me to take a loan app. And back in the days, guys, we would literally go to people's homes with handwritten applications and sit at their kitchen table and fill out applications and handwrite good faith estimates with calculators. Remember that? Anybody remember that? Raise a hand. Who remembers that stuff, right? That's what we did. And that was very common to actually go to their house and take the application. Well, I did that once. And it was like on a Friday or something. And I took the file and I put it like in the trunk of my car because I wanted it to be safe because it wasn't at the office, And I forgot all about it. You know what I mean? And so I went to work the next day and just like a week and a half later, the agent calls me and goes, "Dude, it's like an appraiser going to come or anything." I'm like, "Oh my God, I forgot all about this."
Oh my gosh. I thought you were going to say the car got stolen.
Oh, no. No, but that would have been my luck.
You just forgot about it. Just sat in the trunk.
So what did you do, Frank?
He was probably driving a hoopty.
What did you do, Frank? How did you handle that?
So I scrambled. I said, "You know what? That's surprising. I'll go check," because it hit. As soon as he said it, I went, "Oh my God, I forgot about this deal." I said, "You know what? That's surprising. I'll check on that right now. Let me get right back to you." Flew to my car, got it out of the trunk, ran in the office and begged processing, begged everybody, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I got to get this thing done like right." And everybody jumped in and, we had the appraiser going out there that day and just, we managed to get through it. But yeah, that was pretty bad. If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time. All right, well, listen.
I know you want to get to our guest of the day, but I got to tell you, there are some really good wins in the chat right now.
Well, let's grab one. Let's grab another. We got a couple minutes. Go ahead.
Listen, Andrew got a $670,000 contract over the weekend and waiting for a closing on a $273,000 one.
Wonderful.
Rick got a referral over the weekend from a new realtor who likes his Tuesday update calls on the deal they have going on. She's the listing agent.
Nice.
Yep. And Sue Moody said, "I have a new realtor partner just because I answered my phone. I wasn't even calling her."
Wow.
I had to highlight. They're all such great wins.
They're great wins. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Kristen. Yeah. Congrats to everybody. Great stuff. Yeah, and Michael Harris put the HP 12C in the chat. Yeah. That was our workhorse back in the day.
That's amazing.
All right. So cool. Well, hey, let's bring up our guest, Kelly Dutton. And so this is where I want to go with this is that, we brought Kelly on before. We talked about some stuff. A lot of y'all, got in touch with Kelly about a lot of stuff. But I wanted to bring her back on again just so we can kind of make the whole experience even better and have a little more clarity on some things with Kelly and OneClick and commercial funding. And just to be clear, I know that there's a handful of us out here on the call today that probably do commercial fairly regularly. Maybe it's even part of their staple, like that's their thing. Even maybe it's what they do, right, is commercial. And so Kelly and her team, they're brokers, they're commercial brokers, right? So if you're already a commercial broker doing your thing, I think the only reason that you'd want to engage with Kelly and her team is if there was just something you couldn't find, right? Like something in all your experience, you can't find a fit. Maybe Kelly and her team have a fit, and then you guys can kind of share in that commission a little bit, that kind of a thing. But for the majority of us, and I would include me in this bucket, right? We're interested, we're commercial curious, right? Is how I would say it, commercial curious. And, and we'd like to participate in it because these things get floated past our desk from time to time, or maybe even fairly regularly. But taking on learning commercial in detail it's quite a challenge. It's the same thing as when you were learning residential loans. You didn't just learn it in a couple of days. It takes time to really, and heck, a lot of us been in residential for a really, really, really long time. Don't feel like we got it all, so, and commercial's the same way. So it's a big mountain to climb. And but we would like to participate in it. And that's why I wanted to bring Kelly to the table. And the reason why, guys, is Kelly found me. We got on a conversation. We started talking about what they can do and what they can't do. And I realized this is the team. This is my team. And so you guys know that I have gone into the private capital space, commercial, and the weird loans and the investor stuff, right? And I've done a couple commercial deals. But even though I've done a couple commercial deals personally, man, it was a challenging experience. When I learned what Kelly and her team could do, I was like, no more. I'm just going to go, hey, hand it over to my partners over here, let them roll with it, right, and get paid a commission on the back end. And so that's what we were trying to do. And so I hope that makes that clear. And so what we wanted to do too is we wanted today, I thought what would be important, two things. I've been talking to Kelly, and she's gotten so much coming in from everybody that we figured, okay, let's kind of identify some commercial basics, just kind of out of the chute, like understand what you're it's very helpful to kind of understand what you're dealing with before we attempt to hand it off a little bit. You don't have to know all the ins and outs, but some basic parameters, right? And then also how to really hand off to Kelly in a really cool way that it just works, right? A good handoff, So Kelly, I was hoping we could just have a conversation, and let's start with some basics of commercial lending, because I think this is really important. I don't think a lot of people realize this. The first thing I'm going to start with here is, tell me about location. What's the big deal there?
Everything. It's going to be everything to you. If you don't know the location of the deal, it's part of the puzzle. Commercial works like a puzzle. I have to have a location. I have to know if it's a rural. I have to know if it's in the city, a warehouse building, there's warehouse buildings in the city, or if it's rural. All of that is going to depend on your loan. I need an address. On land, if we don't have an address, we need a parcel number. Person that's asking you about the loan will have that information. So some people don't like to give up a lot of information, but I don't have a quote off my out of the air on hey, I've got a multi-unit deal, a buyer, and they need $4 million.
Yeah, we need to have a little bit more information than that. I tell you, the location thing is one of the things that I learned really, really quickly was, hey, I've got this deal. Everything sounds good, like quote unquote LTVs. And that's even different in commercial, but like LTV seems good. They say the borrower's strong. What can I do on this deal? And I noticed in my experience, calling around a couple of commercial lenders that I would send it to, the first thing I'd ask is, well, where is it? Where is it? And I'd say, well, here's the address. And they right away, it'd be like, no, we can't do it. And but it seems so good. But no, you don't understand. It's in the middle of nowhere. There's no density. There's no population around. Density and population, a big deal for commercial, right? Not that you can't do those other deals, right? Not that you can't get them done, but it's going to be just like anything else, guys. It's going to be, like, hey, if you're in a high density area and everything lines up, you're going to get a nice low bank rate loan, like a low rate, right? But if location diverts off of that, and you start getting into some rural areas and things like that, well, that's going to change. Am I right, Kelly?
Well, it totally changes it. It just makes them difficult. It's rules very, very difficult. It's doable, but it might turn into an agricultural loan, or it will be different. And again, a little pricey because people can't get to it, and they're going to want to know about it. Now, if you're a farmer or timber or something like that, it's okay to be rural. Obviously, you're going to need to be rural, and they'll lend on that. But maybe a little rental out in, population 100 people or something, not going to get a good loan on that. That's going to be a difficult loan.
Right. So, okay, good. So, continuing on the line of basics. Oh, and throw your questions in. Guys, throw your questions into the chat. We're going to make room for addressing those because I know you're going to have a bunch, okay? Because I want this to be an educational breakfast club, okay? Very, very educational. So, let's talk property types too, Kelly. So, what's kind of the mix that we're looking at here? I remember you were telling me someone had a scenario where it was more of a land deal because the property types weren't actual structures. They were but there was a commercial deal in that it was a business. So, but tell us about property types. What are we looking at?
So all kinds of property types. So on the property types, you're looking at single family, and single family, you're thinking, oh, I can do single family. It's going to deviate from that if it becomes an Airbnb, rentals. If they're building a portfolio and stuff, that's when you're going to do, come to me, multifamily. Multifamily is going to mean, fourplex on up. So apartment buildings, things like that. Then you're going to have developers that come in, with townhouses and things like that. You're going to have construction loans where they're going to put a multifamily on top of it. Strip malls would be multi-use.
So, we got it. Good. Go ahead.
So on all those, what you can do is you can go in if I know what it is. Now, some people have a business on the bottom and rentals on top. That would be multi-use. You'll meet them. Especially as mortgage, you're going to run into those, and they're harder to get loans on. One of the reasons why you would want to go to a broker, because they'll be able to broker that into a company that specializes in that. So land deals are just what they sound like. Are they curb ready? Have they done the underground and stuff to them? All those are going to make decisions on what the interest rate's going to be, what terms are going to be. Are they going to just give you a construction loan to head for it to be up and running, or are they going to do construction and go into a full loan? All those are going to come into an account on a commercial question.
The other thing too is when I went into started going into commercial and from residential, we think of DTI, right? We think, oh, what's the DTI on this thing? But with commercial, it's really different. The qualifying aspect of it is like you got to know your NOI, your net operating income, right? And then we got to figure out what our DSCR is. Just like a DSCR, we're all familiar with DSCR on rentals, 1 to 4, most of us, right? Very similar in that regard. But with commercial, it's a little different. Tell us a little bit about the qualifying of someone on it. Let's say somebody's found a 50-unit apartment complex for, $25 million or whatever, whatever. How do they qualify? What's going to determine how much of a loan that can get done on that?
So the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what's the address to the thing? I'm going to look it up. I'm going to find out how many units there are. How many units? If it's a hotel, they're going to ask for how many keys are there. But in a apartment situation, they want to know that they're going to want a rent roll. And people will be like, well, I don't have the rent roll, but they're going to ask for one. So if an apartment building is selling, they are obligated to supply you with a rent roll that tells you what each unit's rented for. And then the occupancy is going to have a huge deal. If it's 50% occupied, you can still buy it, but are you going to buy it with no money down or 20%? No way. You're going to cover that difference to get in there to clean it up. And you're going to have to show what they call a pro forma to show how is it going to grow and become occupied to service the loan debt. Those are all questions that are going to come in, but big ones, the address and.
Yeah. And the other thing too, is remember, okay, so you're getting this big multi-unit thing or whatever, and it could be anything. It could be retail, anything, right? It could be a strip mall, a retail, rent rolls. What's coming in? They're looking at it from a business perspective, as far as qualifying goes. Like, what's it generating? What's this property generating? That's what they're looking at. And like Kelly said, okay, let's say it's only got a 50% occupancy. Not that you can't get this deal done. Right. It's just now you go from what would have been a 7% bank loan for 5 years interest only to a 10 or 11% deal. You know what I mean? Where they're not going to worry about that so much. Right. So it's out there. But that's why I think I think overall, information is just so crucial. Like if you guys have something come across your desk, really try to get as much information as you can, up front if you can, and then get with Kelly. And we'll talk about the handoff as well. Before we get there, SBA, because we had that come up quite a bit. SBA loans, you guys can handle that for everybody, right?
I like handling the SBA 7A and both 504. I like handling it as a broker, especially if they're a referral and they're your clients. You don't want to discourage them from doing it because it's going to keep your retention, to keep your client with you. But I can do 7A and I can pay you on it. If you send them to the bank will not pay, pay. You would have to be a broker. You'd have to figure that fee in there. It's not a big fee, but you don't want to lose them to the bank. And I would keep them as a customer. I always think something's better than nothing. So we'll put it together for you and we'll get a little bit of money in your pocket too.
Here's another weird one that came across your desk. Listen to this one, guys. Accounts receivable. Talk about that.
So huge. So from software to Kroger grocery stores or something, they have vendors that have to pay to be paid, but it has to be fetched. You have to go get it. You're going to take a line of credit on the amount that the purchase order's for. So if it's, let's just use Walmart and it's a $1 million, purchase, they're going to buy from the vendor and ship in a bunch of bottles of something. So it's going to be $1 million. They'll do a line of credit for that. Accounts receivable, what they're looking for is to cover you for the pay period of 30 to 60 days.
Got it.
How long it takes that vendor to get that check back in.
Interesting. That's on accounts receivable.
Accounts receivables.
Fascinating.
Factoring.
Fascinating. Real quick, and I want to save time for questions because there's a ton of them blowing up in here. So, okay, real quick. So let's talk about rates. And Kelly, if I could be so, let me just, and you back me up and correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, on this one, I'll make it very, very simple. So, what I have learned, guys, in the commercial realm is that if you've got a kick-ass entity, right, who's very experienced, right, who's purchasing or refinancing a kick-ass property, okay, in a kick-ass area, all right, and everything is just wonderful and lines up beautifully, right? I see bank loans like in the sixes, right? Sixes, sevens, 5 years fixed, with a 10-year call, that kind of thing. Very common, 25-year term, very common bank loan rate. That's how low they can get. Okay.
That's true.
Right, Kelly? So that's about accurate, right?
That's accurate.
Okay. But if certain things start dropping, right? Like, okay, the area or the entity or the NOI or the things don't, things start to fall out of place out of that perfect box. What do you think is going to happen? I mean, it's just like anything else, just like residential, right? Rates are going to be different. Products are going to be different. Terms are going to be different. And it's not going to go down, right? It's going to go up, right? So you might find yourself in a situation where, okay, now you're getting 8%, right, on a 3-year term, or then it could get even way out there. You can get into private capital and hard money for commercial loans, or you can go as high as 13, 14%, on a 12 to 24 month bridge loan. It just all depends on all of that. So I know Kelly has gotten a handful of people call up and say, well, just send me a rate sheet. Send me your rate. It doesn't exist. It's not plausible, right? She'd have to send you, 400 rate sheets, and then you would have to understand where you fit in all of that. So it's just the scenario drives the rate. Like, what is the overall scenario? So let's get to this now. The best way because a lot of times our loan officers, Kelly, they don't have all that information, right? They got a lead. It's on a mixed use. The sales price is $2 million, right? They want to put 30% down. What's your rate? And we can't respond to that. So when someone comes to you, and listen closely to this, guys, because I just want to make sure if you've got these things happening, you can hand off to Kelly. I hand off to her in a very cool way. Whenever I talk to someone, I go, right, my partner for that's Kelly at OneClick. Let's get her on the phone and let's have a conversation with her so she can ask you some questions to get a real good idea on this, and we can figure out what pricing might look like. That's basically how I do it. I conference Kelly in. I mean that, but how would you suggest that people hand off in an effective way, Kelly?
Effectively, I would say 70% conferences in somehow. The other way that works is you can email me with the client's name, phone number, and an email address. And I'll take it from there. I get it. If you think you got a commercial thing and then you start asking questions, you feel like a little intimidated. Maybe it's not, you don't want to scare them away. If they don't want to give, just call my partner's probably going to want to know the address. Try to put it in there. If it's not in there, we'll get on the phone as soon as possible with them so we can get their address and things like that. Not all bad credit gets turned down. So don't be scared of that. Let's find out the property address and the person borrowing. Let's get the story. I threw email or I personally, introductions to the customer, I'm telling you, if they're large deals, usually turn into a Zoom with us, just to get them on the phone so we can expedite it and do it quickly. And it will give them confidence that we're capable of taking care of the deal.
Yeah, I think that what winds up happening too is that people who are getting commercial loans, especially if they're experienced at it, they want to talk to somebody that they feel like, okay, these people know what they're doing. I can trust these people to get this done. So it's really, really important to them. So I prefer, for me, guys, I prefer like, hey, let me see if I can conference Kelly in, or I'll text Kelly, hey, can I get you on a call, in 30 minutes with someone, and just, try and get that conference call started so that they can talk to Kelly. Kelly can answer all those questions because she knows the questions to ask. She's going to start asking things like I would have never thought to ask. And then and usually the borrower understands why those questions are getting asked. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, this, that, the other thing. It just goes really, really smooth. Hi, thanks for enjoying Loan Officer Breakfast Club here on YouTube. I just wanted to drop in and remind you that if you're a newer loan officer and you're trying to get to that 2 or 3 deals a month, or if you're seasoned and you're trying to get from 50 to 60 or 60 to 80, Mortgage Marketing Animals has you covered. We've got the full gambit from start to finish, top to bottom. Everything you need is at mortgagemarketinganimals.com. There's a reason that mortgagemarketinganimals.com is the #1 mortgage coaching platform in the country. So check it out, mortgagemarketinganimals.com. Let's get into some questions real quick. Marcio's got his hand up, so we'll start with Marcio. Marcio, hey, do me a favor. We don't have a lot of time left, so please keep it kind of short, and then we'll just move on to others. Go for it.
You got it. Kelly, mixed-use properties.
Yes.
For borrowers that have FICO scores in between 660 and 699, I always struggle. It's usually have to refer them to a hard money lender instead of
not always hard money. So if you're going to go, it's not always hard money. I can even do a DSCR with that.
Perfect. I'll reach out. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Paulina.
Hi, Kelly. My question is quick. I have a deal right now. Nobody's helping me because he's buying a commercial commercial condo, and he needs some money to renovate the unit.
Perfect. Just get his name, get the address.
I have everything.
Contact me right after the show and I'll take care of it. I'll be free a couple hours before I start. Can
you please put your number on the chat? Oh,
I'll have Frank supply it to everybody.
You know what? Jen, could you drop the PowerPoint in the chat, please? So we're giving you a PowerPoint in the chat right now, but also I don't know if this is going to work or not. If you want more information from Kelly, or if you got a deal, just type commercial in the chat. And why don't we do that first? Type commercial in the chat. I'm hoping it's going to send you something. Okay. So the chat's in there as well.
According to Rick, it's going to send after the episode.
Okay. So after the episode, it'll send out. So just type commercial into the chat, guys, and you'll get a PowerPoint and an email. And so Paulina, all her information will be on there. Okay. So you'll be able to reach out to her. Darn. Okay, if you got another question, we got a little bit of time. Raise your hand if you got another question, because I can't field the chat right now because everybody's typing commercial, which is my bad. Sorry. Anybody got a deal or something like that they want to ask her about? Some kind of question? Raise your hand. Anyone? Come on. I know you guys, there's a whole bunch in there. Don't be afraid to raise your hand.
I do.
Or you can just unmute and start asking.
I do, Frank. I'm going to ask her. Yes, Kelly, I know I emailed you. It's just so interesting because there's a lot of chatter about barn-dominiums doing builds. Is that, like, I know you talked about rural and how hard it is for more rural properties, but what is the status around barn-dominiums?
So the barn-dominiums are going to actually work out. They're going to work out well. So they're going to fall under commercial. They are a little bit out there, but they're on the outskirts where they can hit at what they call a debt. They're gonna service the debt. If you can service the debt on commercial, your buildings, even if it's a little rural, is going to be included in commercial lending. We'll be able to get it done.
Amazing. Thank you.
Okay. Good stuff. Anything else? Any other questions? Go ahead and just unmute if you got a question or raise your hand. Okay, go ahead, Kelly.
All right. So if someone calls us and says, hey, Kelly, do you offer, I'm sorry, I'm a Kelly as well. Hi, Kelly. If they're like, hi, Kelly Grant, do you offer a commercial, blah, blah, blah on, whatever. And like, normally my company is a no, and I'm out there trying to find someone for them. How does it work as a partnership if my company doesn't offer it at all, but I'm going to send it to you? How do we track and follow that? What's the comp on that? Like, I don't know. I don't get it, but I want to start doing it because I get this phone call like 5 times a week.
So that's the call I'm looking for to help you with. You're going to say, hey, I've got a partner. I'll go ahead and give you my partner's name. I'm going to keep track of it. And then I have a huge spreadsheet for LOBC. Once it closes, then it's trackable and it would go back to you for you to get a commission.
Yeah. With commercial funding, are you a broker, Kelly Grant?
Yeah, I work with the company that we have all of our products, but commercial is something that I have personally an investment in, but then also when I get the phone calls about other type of commercial properties of interest that I know my company doesn't offer.
So they can fund through your brokerage, right? And then so it funnels to you, right?
Yeah.
The commission. Or when it comes to commercial, a lot of times people have their own LLC or whatever set up where she can fund directly to your own LLC, but work with your broker. I don't want to cause any problems, or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
just trying to get an understanding of how that works. Like my company doesn't have the product at all online, especially the multifamily. And I get those phone calls for a lot of people that want to do the multifamily space and we can't, but I want to still help them. That I feel like that's going to work. And then on the personal side of it, I do have several investors that are building in an LLC, multifamily and single family. So I just needed to find the product that's going to help with that.
Yeah. I'll have the products. You can go ahead and most of the companies, if you don't offer it, don't reprimand you for stepping out to do a referral. I mean, it would be like referring a friend.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get all of the information from you so we can schedule a meeting and really get that hashed out. Cause like I'm on go time right now. Like it's time to find the product. I've had meetings with some of our brokers that are within our platform. Think I may have found one that can help. But yeah, when you started talking about OneClick, I think about 2 weeks ago, my ears just opened up and said, I need to hear more. So thank you, Kelly.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Frank.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Okay, well, guys, thanks so much for today. Kelly, thank you so much. Super appreciate you as always. I hope I hope that was a little more clear today on how we effectively can integrate commercial into our business. Like I said from the beginning, if you're the commercial person, you're good to go, right? But if you do come across something that just stumps you, don't hesitate to check with Kelly and her team because they may have the answer for you, and then you guys could work together on that. But if you're like me or, commercial curious or kind of want to dabble in it but don't want to learn everything, it's just so nice to be able to hand it off to Kelly and her team. They do know everything, and they'll get it all figured out, and then you get a check at the end. And you could stay, Kelly, they could stay as involved as they want, right? In the process.
Involved, or I'll contact you towards the end of it and tell you where it's going.
Yeah, like with me and Kelly, I usually stay involved in it to a certain degree. She keeps me informed of where we're going, and I see the emails. I might engage with the customer here and there, that kind of a thing. So I'm still involved, and Kelly's my partner. Or you could just do the old, hey, it's all yours, take it away kind of a thing, that sort of thing. And they're so good over there. You're not going to have any concerns about that. They'll be well taken care of.
What's the link that they go to on your?
So work with OneClick.com. So to make it easy, you are going to get the email, but if you go to if you can put that in there, Jen, work with OneClick.com. You just put your info in there. There's a couple buttons. I just want info, or I got a deal right now. If you hit I got a deal right now you need help with and hit submit, Kelly will get an email It'll alert her. This person has a deal right now. But if you just click, I just want more information, she won't get that alert, but it will send you more information. But you're going to get information anyway because you typed in commercial if you typed in commercial. But if you got a deal right now and you want Kelly to reach out to you, go to workwithonclick.com and then click the button that says, I got a deal right now. She should get an email alert for that. So, all right. What do you think, Chris Johnstone? Think we covered everything pretty good?
Oh, it was fantastic. So Kelly and I have had conversations and I put a lead her way.
Oh, good.
Kelly's communication is just amazing. Like she's just such a wonderful person, but also just like so responsive. It's absolutely fantastic. And I think I'm going to be training AI to send some commercial leads my way. 30%. What's going on?
Oh, training AI.
You're a pleasure to speak to you. So.
Yeah. Well, they're Canadian. They're all. That's how they are. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're nice. They're very nice people. All right. Good stuff, man. Well, thank you guys. Really appreciate you being here. I hope you guys got something out of this today. I hope it was helpful. And we will be here tomorrow with Steve Kiles, by the way, who's going to freak us out about something. Yeah. So that'll be great. All right. You guys have a great day. We'll catch you here tomorrow at the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. See you later. Adios, my friends. Bye-bye.
Have a great day, everybody.